We did a thing. Welcome.
We did a thing?
We did a thing.
No.
It was a mutual agreement.
I've been looking for a boat and April found a boat. Interrupted my solar project. So we went and picked up a boat. It needs work, but it's fun. It's gonna be fun. Hasn't rained in a couple years. So we'll see how hard it's gonna be to get it started back up. But I'm excited. I'm excited. April's so excited she's gotta do something with it because she took a picture and did something.
Yeah, but technically I'm the one that brought this to Bobby's attention. But Bobby's the one that's been boat.
But why?
Because we live 5 minutes from the lake.
And I don't want to wait until I'm 100.
No. We want to get it prepared for when Asher can go on the water with us.
That's right. But Bobby doesn't want to wait till he's 100 before he can have a boat.
Well, April don't either.
April does. She's always like, we don't need a boat.
It's lit. I ain't even going in that. We got a boat. Hi, Bobby.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Put this up so it don't fall. We are about to fire up the boat motor for the first time to see if it's going to turn over and fire.
You got a bucket of water. Got a boat.
Got a new battery.
Got a new battery. Got Bobby dirty arms.
Yeah. Now we're going to see if it's going to run.
All right. Let's do it. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I can't see it.
You want me to turn the key?
I don't know if we're getting any fire. Seems like something's not working.
To be continued. Well, folks, we have a running engine. I don't know if it's fully functional yet, but at least it runs in a bucket. So this little fellow back here is a pokey butt. He was asleep before we got on the trail to come down to the workout room. And he's just way behind and not caring about hurrying and being ready to go. And it's just like, nah, I might. It's thundering.
Keep moving.
Might be raining soon. And he's back there
Come on.
poking around. Not doing anything. Just lollygagging.
Mama didn't wake you up. Now you trying to wake up, old man.
Here he comes. Oh, he's closer.
Come on. Let's go. First things first, we must vacuum. I'm going with the Ryobi.
Because
April.
the batteries will die and you're not going to suck up nothing.
April's going with this guy that takes 4 years to set up. So while she's out here getting set up, I'm going to go ahead and get the vacuuming. So we got to vacuum first. So we got to get all the leaves and all the gunk out. Then we'll bust out the water. But I don't want to get all this like nasty and not muddy, but you know, wet, so it doesn't vacuum up. And then we'll break out the pressure washer, and I'm going to pressure washer out all this stuff. I'm going to see if I can take this off. I'm going to have to probably go get the real pressure washer. This pressure washer doesn't really do anything. It's good for like cars so you don't damage the cars or anything, but if you really want to get the pressure out and like try to take off a stain like that or the stuff off that tire, you got to get the real pressure washer. now that I've spoken a little bit, now April's caught up almost. That obviously ain't gonna be long enough, so she's gonna have to go get yet another one. Have fun with that. All right, so we had 2 seats. That's what this one used to look like, pressure washed. We just got done pressure washing captain's chair. And here's our progress on the cleaning. Carpet turned out pretty good. So I think this will last us a few more years before we have to worry about it. April is currently up here cleaning.
Before and after right here.
Cleaning out the seats. Oh, I had to get up there. No, I got it. Look, you can't be recording. You got to be working. Don't be slowing down. Don't be slowing down. Am I making a mess? No, okay. All right, so we got some seats cleaning back here.
Yep, that's.
Look at all that nasty.
That was actually less than what this one was,
Ooh.
but this one looks amazing now.
Yeah, look at that.
It's all clean.
All
It's
clean.
vacuumed up mostly. That spot there I just saw, but yeah.
Got the back cleaned out pretty good. I'm gonna actually take this one off and that one off, and buy brand new battery holders that are nice.
Yeah.
Transom looks okay, but it is cracking a little right there. I have to replace that transom. This looks pretty good. This is all right.
Get out of here.
Alrighty. Gonna get us a new steering wheel. Gonna replace this too. And once I get the motor working, I'm gonna replace the remote. This the throttle cable and everything. But I got my eyes on something to replace this. But we were waiting until we got out here and cleaned it, make sure everything's good. Yeah, pretty good. Making progress. I don't know what we're gonna do to clean that off. We gotta get the big pressure washer out, I think. Whew, it's hot out here. Spent all day working on the boat, finishing up with a seafood boil.
You're my hero.
And she's not gonna use a lot of that, just a little.
Just a little. On just a potato.
But I'm gonna use a ton of this. The seafood, Zatarans or whatever, I can't remember brand. All right, let's get to eat. All right, plans for this morning. Well, I just jump right in.
Chicken water. Ice with water.
April been giving the chicken water, ice water, and they like it. They sit outside and they drink it and they have a good old time. Cheek, 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 cheek.
Good morning, girls.
All right, the plan for today. We're actually going to take the boat out. Yeah, the motor's still broke, so how are we going to take the boat out? Because we got one of these. We got a Minn Kota Edge. So, we're going to have a trolling motor, and we're just going to go out and troll around today. For now, though, we got to get the top off, get the new top on. I want to take those old battery boxes off, get this new battery box mounted. Move that battery into there. We're going to go to town and get a second battery for the trolling motor because I want a second battery to run on. And then this will be backup. So if we get too far away from shore, we can be like, oh, let's get back to town. Let's get back to the dock until we can get the, the boat motor fixed. The boat motor, we do have parts on order, but they're being delayed for some reason. The water pump's being delayed. All right, I took the old battery box off. And the old battery box actually sat on this little piece right here. But look, it's like, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it's not connected really well here with these rivets. So the new box is going to set like this. And it'll actually set on this bigger brace. And then when I put the bolt in it, it'll actually bolt and pull that up. So this box will hold it. But what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go see if I can find my rivet gun. See if I can actually put a rivet in here. But the reason I'm talking about this, I was going to screw this into here, thinking, oh, I'll just screw this into this deck and it's all great, but the pontoon right there, I am so glad I did not screw into that because it didn't even dawn on me that, and I don't know anything about pontoons, so I'm not sure if this holds air. Like, is it pressurized? There's a little nipple right there, so I don't know if water can get in these or what, but anyway, nerve-wracking. I'm glad I didn't screw into that. April's doubt face.
No, that's my sunny face.
Sunny face. So anyway, so I'm gonna put it back where it was, just with the newer box that ain't falling apart. May.
I wouldn't go as far as falling apart. I would say dirty.
It's nasty. This one's gonna be all clean and weatherproof.
And not nasty for 2 days.
Weatherproof for our $100 battery. When I get this engine all running well, I'm gonna replace these lead acid batteries. I'm gonna get us a nice LiPo battery, but they're gonna be expensive, but it'll be worth it. We can buy one battery and it'll last forever. All right, well, let's finish up. All right, the top is off. And now we're gonna put the new one on. And the babies are mad because Max is sitting out here huffing. April.
About to hyperventilate.
April.
What?
Show them your shorts. Look at them. Let's see them.
See my shorts?
No, let's see that side.
So, I don't have any
What's
swim
this?
bottoms. Listen, I don't have any swim bottoms. So, we ran into town for something else. But I was like, let me run in Dollar General and get some swim shorts. Something I can be in shorts. And the only thing that literally, the only pair of shorts they had.
April loves. Here, let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Look at that. Yeah, boy.
It's the only piece of short they had.
Looking good.
Technically, I picked up the
technically
hanger,
they're men's.
saw the hanger, and I saw the back side, I guess, technically. It was red and black, and I was like, it's almost Carolina colors. And I was just like, whatever, they're shorts, I don't care. I got in the car, laid them on my lap to take the hanger off, and looked down, and I was like, I need to return these immediately. Pronto.
Oh.
These need to go back.
Listen,
Pronto.
we got the battery mounted. I had to disconnect the electric because the electric is on all the time and it shouldn't be. We remounted this. Now we're about to put the top back on and then we're going to get to the trolling motor. Got a second battery, so we're going to run off this battery all day. Then we'll have a backup battery if we was to run all the juice out of this. But all we're really doing is we're just going to get on the lake, get this to get us out there, float around, and then go right back to the dock because we don't have an engine right now. Probably not smart, but I want to be on the lake. I want to just go and do a little fishing. I got my,
With our broke fishing poles.
No, those suck. That's all right. Now I got a brand new fishing rod. We got 2 more other brand new fishing rods. And I want to get out there and see if we can catch something, but not right now because it's hottest part of the day. I don't think the fish are going to be biting. I don't know.
Why are we doing this in the hot? Why aren't we doing this under the shed?
Because we're just going to put it together in the spot.
It's going to take a minute. All this this stuff has got static, clean plastic over it.
Why do they do that? So stupid. Like, you got to put plastic on everything? It's aluminum. Our freaking, and I might put this in the video, our stupid compost bin that you're going to put scraps in had plastic on every piece, as if you can't scratch
The compost.
a compost bin that you go put garbage in.
We going on a boat ride. Let's do this. I'm ready with my hat. Oh, I can't get it on. Wind's blowing and my bun's in the way. Okay. We're ready. Bobby's already in the boat, in the water. Over there. Wait, I can't do it. There it is. And I have parked the Jeep. I have parked the Jeep in the trailer. He's yelling at me and we're going on a boat ride.
I need to be recording like this so they can see this magnificent beard. But look, we're on the lake. It's Monday.
Lots of people.
No, but this is the way this lake stays too.
It is.
And we are literally 2 miles from it.
It really is the way it stays.
Look at this.
I might have to do that. My hat.
Look at this. It's wonderful. Let's get these fishing rods. We got our fishing license. Bought those online, printed them out. $10. Now we can fish.
A live bait.
Forgot to get live bait. We do have some worms though, some fake worms. So we're gonna try it.
Get some fake bait.
Fake bait. But we're just gonna see. We haven't.
Just having a peaceful time.
Yeah. And if nothing else happens, I'm definitely jumping in the water and swimming around for a minute. I'm gonna get April in too. We have a pontoon.
I know. How am I gonna get back up?
You going?
How am I gonna get back up?
That's a good question. We'll figure that out when it happens.
I can't wait till after I'm in the lake to do it.
Oh yeah.
No.
Called necessity.
Yeah.
Necessity. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I got that blue rope right here. Got that blue rope.
You gonna put my feet in that and just lift me up out of the water?
No, we'll throw it to you and say good luck.
I hear you.
Well, we just now found something. We just ran into it. Thankfully, very slowly. What the? Well, imagine some boat coming by here, whapping into that thing. What is it?
I guess it's low enough, like in the shallow enough, a boat wouldn't want to be this low.
Doesn't mean you won't come wailing through here and hit
That's
it.
true.
This is why you want to.
It's got lots of rocks on it, so somebody obviously put the rock on it. It looks like it goes way deep, too. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first fish.
Itty bitty sucker, but look at that.
Itty bitty. He's big enough. I'd have loved to have fought him. I want to catch. I don't want to fish.
Oh, he was covered.
Look
Look
at
at
his mouth. Wonk, wonk. He's nice. Bobby
Very
caught him.
good.
First fish.
First fish in the
Yeah.
boat. Let me get this.
I'm going to change my bait.
Let me get the thing.
There he goes.
Caught him right there, coming this up through here.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Good job, baby. Good job.
Yeah.
I wish it was me.
Yesterday's run was a success. Kinda. Partially. We got the water pump replaced, and the whole time we were testing it here, we have it inside this 35-gallon trash can, but the water only comes up to about, I think, somewhere like right in here. Sorry. Right in here. And the water pump sits right here. And this allows water in here. So what we found was short version. When I put this in the trash can, no water comes out the telltale. However, when we get in the lake and we crank it up, plenty of water comes out the telltale. So we're going to set the trash can a lot higher. I'm going to put some blocks under it. Get the trash can as high as possible so that we can put enough water into it so we can see the telltale work without the muff. See, if you put the muffs on it, the telltale works, but water's leaking everywhere. I'd like to kind of set this up in here to not have the water running all the time. Okay, after that, what happened was it ran. We probably made it 100 feet, and it started going off. So now we've got to figure out why is the remote alarm kicking off. I think it's going to be due to the oil pump, because the person that sold it to me said that they mixed the gas. So we'll have to see. Doing some troubleshooting today. Now, check this out. So we got a new battery system. Brand new battery holder. Brand new battery holder. And we have two switches. Oh, ignore the charger. We're charging. By the way, if you ever charge your battery, it's good practice to put your charger right beside your gas tank. It's fine. But that's such a... Hey, get away. B. Okay, so we've got one battery. We got one battery. This battery feeds the motor, and it feeds the electrical panel to feed the, lights, and there's a stereo up there, blah, blah, blah. So this runs the battery and accessories. This is all about the trolling motor. But check this out. This is the interesting part. I'm going to top this battery off. I'm going to top this battery off. And then I'm going to put them on. So this switch, so let's talk about what the switch can do. So we're going to get it all charged up. Then what we can do is, as we're on the lake, I can come over here, flip this to 1, and this is battery 1. So battery 1 runs, or sorry, the motor and the accessories run on battery 1. I can also set the switch to 2 and have the battery and the accessories running on that battery. So, or I could come over here and say, okay, the trolling motor is running on battery 2, which is just this one. Or we could say switch this and then say the trolling motor works off battery 1 over here. But each switch also has the ability to say 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So I can run the trolling motor on 2, but have the boat motor running on 1 and 2. Or I can have that one also in parallel. So both of them parallel each other, and everything's running on the same parallel set of batteries. The reason I wanted to do this is right now this motor's not working, so when we drop the boat in the water, I can run the trolling motor on this battery until it dies, and then if this completely dies for some reason, we can be like, uh-oh, back up. So then I can turn that off, or sorry, I can switch that from 1 to 2, and now the trolling motor's running on this battery, and then we can make it back to the shore. Don't think that's really necessary, but I have an engineering brain, and I kind of worry about those things, so we did it. But today, the goal is going to be to pop this off, get this in the water. Go away. I don't know if I can see that. Go, wait. Okay. He's consistent. Okay. Go. Oh, you touched me.
What is it?
There's a bee trying to get me.
Oh.
I'm about to get him. Okay, back to where we were. So the goal today is to get this thing in the water so we can run it long enough for the alarm to go off, and then find out why the alarm's going off. One thing I didn't do is the water coming out of here. I didn't really check it to see how hot it was, to see if it's overheating. You know, is the engine overheating? Because there's two things that can set off the alarm. Overheating or the oil monitor, which we have plenty of oil. So we'll get to that in a minute. So I got to find out, is it the oil or is it the heat? If it's the heat, I don't have a clue what I'm going to do, because technically there's the little booger that's been trying to get me. Okay. Punk. Why'd you go away? You better be glad I don't have my towel. If I had a towel, you'd be history. Alright. So is it the oil alarm or is it the temperature alarm? Because I think that's the only two alarms on this motor. So I just got to figure out which one it is. If I find out that it's the oil, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up a gallon of gas, I think it's 50 to 1. I'm going to look up the spec. But we're going to mix the oil and the gas together, disconnect the alarm, run it on that, and see if the temperature stays low and if the engine runs well. And if the engine runs well, then what I might do is just disconnect that oil sensor completely and just do the mixing in the tank and call it a day. Or we'll order all the parts that I think I can fix it, and then try to fix the oil. What do they call it? They don't call it an oil pump. They call it a oil... it's not an infuser. Injector? Oil injector. So the whole oil injecting system may not be working properly. Or it could also be that we have telltale coming out of here, but maybe there's a pathway that's in the engine where the water flows maybe is constricted. Not sure. So we'll see. I don't know. What you doing?
I am watering the chickens with ice water.
Chickens get daily ice water. At least once. And I just got to notice, this is how hot it is. I'm in the shade recording with my phone, and my phone's too hot. Ain't that crazy? That's how hot it is right now. And it's, what, 10:30? Okay, here's what we got. This was a little too low, so we wasn't able to get the water all the way up here. Now we can get the water all the way up here. Because what I did is I used April's old planter that everything died in, which is basically an old rim. So we got this old rim, we got the trash can sitting on it, and we're gonna leave this here until we solve all the problems. So this should be the last time we have to do this, hopefully. We'll get this thing cranked up, and I'm about to kill this bee. I'm about to see this live. Well, not live, but recorded. See this? This is a dangerous, dangerous tool in my hands. I am the towel whipping master. That thing lands and he's history. So we're gonna get this thing full of water, crank it up, let it sit here and idle, let the buzzer go off, and then I'm gonna see. Let's pop this top. It lands, you little booger. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I'm gonna have to do the lazy hit. Ooh, he splattered. I don't know if I got that on camera because I think I tilted it down, but I think he splattered. If he didn't splatter, he's definitely motivated not to come back around. We're hoping to get that cleaned up soon. Look at that mess. Gotta put that ladder up. That's an expensive ladder just laying out, getting rained on. Okay, anyway, back to this. So here's the temperature sensor, I think. Do not quote me on these things because I'm not quite sure about these things. I think that's the temperature sensor. And I gotta find the oil sensor. I'm not quite sure where the oil sensor is. I don't know what that is. I think that is the oil infuser. It has to be somewhere. There has to be an oil level gauge somewhere on this thing because that's what it does. As the alarm says, hey, your oil's low. I don't know how low it has to get. I mean, we got plenty of oil in there. I don't know how. Oh, wait, look, that's a sensor. Look, there it is. This cap. This cap must have a, it's got wires going into it. So we'll check this cap. We'll disconnect this, test it. We'll disconnect this and test it. I also got a temperature probe where I can temperature probe in here. So we'll temperature probe the block, see what the block's getting to. Let's get this motor full of water and let's not spray the charger. Woohoo! With the motor running, you can see we got a good steady stream. Everything's working really well. It's idling well. But in a minute, the alarm will go off, and we got to see why. I don't know if it's going to be temperature related or if it's going to be oil sensor related. But we're going to let it sit here and idle, and I'm going to monitor this temperature. We'll go get my temperature probe in a minute, monitor this, but it runs really good. I mean, it started up on like the second turnover. But for some reason, the alarm's going off and I don't really know why. Okay, I failed to record the thermostat testing. However, we did take the thermostat off. Sorry for my camera work. Thermostat off. Took it inside, tested it, and it does open. So it's not a stuck thermostat, which is causing this, I was thinking, because right up here we're getting to 170, 180, 190 degrees Fahrenheit. And soon as we break about 160, the temperature sensor goes off appropriately. Like this is just getting way too hot. Down here, not too bad. We're getting good telltale. So plenty of water coming out of here. But what I did notice is the moment I blocked this up, this does drop. Not enough, but it does drop some. And there was some water coming out of the screw hole because obviously we dorked up the, there was some water coming out of this bolt a little bit when I was blocking the telltale, not letting water to come out. So I don't think there's enough water pressure getting up through the system to come out up here. So we're currently draining this. Get this water bucket out of here. I'm going to take the lower unit off. And I'm actually going to pump water up in the unit to see if they'll get water coming out of here. That's a couple of troubleshooting tips, or a couple of troubleshooting steps I'm going to take. I'm going to pump water up the bottom unit for 2 reasons. One, I want to see if it's leaking under here, because from the bottom here, where it comes out of the water pump, it comes up into a tail that actually, plugs into here somewhere. And I want to make sure it's not leaking up here, like losing pressure, where the water pump connects to this pipe and this pipe connects to this bottom of the motor. I want to make sure it's not leaking there. And I want to make sure there's good pressure all the way up here. So what I'm trying to validate is that if the water pump's pumping well enough, then that water should come all the way up into here. And if it's not, there could be a blockage in the motor. I was like, there could be a blockage in the motor here. Another thing I want to validate is if I put water into here, will I see water dump out at the bottom? Just, some way to see, is water going through the engine? Now, just because there's water going through the engine doesn't mean there's enough water going through the engine. And the problem we're having right now is this thing is overheating at idle, which is crazy. Like, really shouldn't be overheating at idle. There should be enough water going through the system. Another thing that I have not found, and maybe I'll find it before this video gets posted, but there's supposedly a thing called, there's that booger back again. And the saga continues. April brought out this. Okay, let him come back. We'll get him. Okay. There's supposed to be a PRC valve or PCV valve, or I can't remember how they described it. Oh, he's back. Oh, can't. Got him. Let's put him out of his misery. Ha. Okay. Now that's been handled. Okay, so here. Where are we? Where are we at this? Where are we in this troubleshooting? Okay. We've got to figure out a way to find out why water's not coming up here. Because if you look down in there, not a lot of action going on in there. Looks kind of stale. Alright, so I want to find out why water's not getting all the way up. That's still kind of hot. So we're going to test that by pumping water up. And then the opposite. We're going to put some water in here and make sure it's draining at the bottom. So first thing we got to do is get this 35-gallon bucket empty. Doesn't take this thing long to fill up with the hose, but it takes a minute to get the water out. So I extended the hose so we can get the rest of the water out. We're going to let that run. We put our switch on both, and now we're equalizing the batteries and kind of getting them both charged up. Isn't that cool? Pretty neat. We took the lower off.
Again.
Validated everything, and here's what we validated. We took the input, the import, the intake. We had this off. We used a pump to pump water up in the engine. Of course, it came and started coming out here and got me wet. So I plugged this up and we pumped water, and water was able to get to here. We also fed water down this side of the thermostat housing, and it came out the bottom no problem. We fed water on this side of the thermostat, and it was able to go through the engine fine. Even though it kind of went through the engine, it's such a small hole on this side that it really wasn't a lot of volume. We pushed water up through here, and it obviously drained because it has no problem coming out here. So here's what we did find when we took off the lower housing. I made a mistake on the input tube. I had the input tube because it fell out, and I had put the input tube into the bottom and then put it on. I think it's possible that that's the problem. I should have put that input tube up in the engine and then attach, where it fell from first, and then that let the fuel pump, the water pump, go up on it. So I think that may have been our problem. Okay, now I also double checked that tube that goes up in there. There was supposed to be like 2 washers I was going to order because I wasn't sure if they were there. Since we had this off, I was able to double check. There's no leaking up here. So as as we pumped water up that hose, it did not leak inside of that. So the only thing that could be stopping the pressure on this unit, and I should have probably filmed it, I'll see if the other film showed it, is the water pump housing. That water pump housing, I wasn't able to get the impeller metal piece out because it had like melted. So I think if we still don't have pressure after this, because it's all put together properly this time, everything's working, we've checked the thermostat's not stuck, this part's still overheating, setting off the sensor here. If it still sets it off, the only thing we can replace is the water pump cover housing. And that should fix the temperature problem, but we'll see. For now, let's fire it up and we'll see if it's going to work today. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me over the motor, but when this thing was running last time, the water was only coming out to right there, where that little mud spot is. Now it's coming way out here. I think we have a lot more pressure. Oh yeah, we have a lot more pressure. This may be fixed. I may have put it together wrong. This was hitting like 200 earlier. What? This might be fixed. We might be on the water. Gotta get the fish finder installed. We're back. So, brand new water pump, just in case I mess something up as it's coming off. Brand new water pump housing. Thermostat, because thermostat seal is not necessarily bad, but since I took it off, I figured I'd order another one and replace it. So let's hope this solves our pressure problem. Because if it's not this, and we'll show you the old one when I take it off. If it's not this, I don't know what it's going to be. So we're about ready to take this thing off for the 7th time. Let's go. So we got the lower unit off, and you can see here, there's the top of the water pump. So we're going to take this off and I'll show you the inside and while we're replacing it. And then I think we're just going to do a full rebuild completely. So here's the old water pump housing, and you can see that it's kind of melted in the center. And this little, it looks like this little metal area is just not setting center. This is the new one. New cap, new everything. So we'll replace that. We got a whole new kit, so we got new everything. New seals, whatever
New
this
bolts,
is.
new everything.
New bolts, new propeller, even though that propeller is brand new. We're just going to rebuild it completely.
No chances.
And hopefully it will hold pressure. So we just went and tried to test the boat and it didn't work. And then we forgot all of our tackle, so we came back home. And I think we're gonna take this as a blessing because look at that. It's coming. And over there, that direction, which is coming this way, kind of that way, there's a ton of rain right there, so it probably got us. So we'll just take it as a blessing.
God looking out.
Yeah, I wish the motor would have worked, but I should have expected it won't, because we had it working in the bucket. It's still not working. We'll take it back off again. Obviously, I've done something wrong. Yeah, it was a blessing. Raining like crazy. So I'm kind of glad we forgot the tackle. We'd be on the boat right now. It's just getting rained on. So we got to at least test the water pump and know that it didn't work. And then make it back home. Look, even the girls, they're like, nope. They're all inside. I think I'm gonna go grab my tea. Hang out on the porch for a minute. Listen to the rain. Well, the motor is the motor. The lower drive has been fixed. Got so excited this morning that I totally forgot to video any of it. But here's what happened. Let me find the old part. If you look at this old part right here. Hold on. Where's that old part? If this is all working, we'll put the thermostat on there. See this key right here? Let me try to zoom out. Oh, boy. Hey, there we go. See that little key spot right there? They have what they call a... Man, I forget what they call it. Hatchet, hedge. Anyway, some kind of hatch key, hedge key, some kind of key. A little metal piece that goes right here inside this sprocket. And then that little key sets inside the big...
Groove?
The groove of that big long shaft that comes down, the little drive shaft. And so what happens when I was putting it together and I was trying to bend these fins over, that little key came off and went right inside the little cap. And so sure enough, it wasn't there. And I noticed whenever I pulled off the lower drive, I turned that drive shaft and it was very, very easy to turn. So yeah, so we finally figured out the problem. The problem is this was the propeller we were using. Now, I noticed that the key slide was also bigger than the original. This was the original. And the key slide, you can't really tell it like by looking at it, but this is smaller than this. Also, check this out. Watch. See how wobbly that is? Now look at this one. No wobble.
Yep.
Now, thankfully, we have ordered 2 of these kits. The other brand new one, also no wobble. So we're going to get this thing put back together. What we found out was, as soon as we would crank up the engine, this key would just turn and slip. So the propeller wasn't turning.
Yep.
And that's because the inner diameter of this propeller was wrong. This is wrong.
Yep.
This one, perfect. So we're going to get this thing put back together and everything should be
hunky-dory.
Happy hunky-dory.
Yay.
All right. So we got a brand new winch, trolling motor, got the lights working, got the running lights working. I guess that's whatever they're called. I think I still need to work on the bearings. Not sure. We have 2 brand new batteries, custom switches where we can put the motor and the lights on battery 1 or battery 2. That's the trolling motor. We can put the trolling motor on battery 1 or battery 2. And the electrical system can go put the trolling motor on both, but the engine only on that. Or put the engine on both, but the trolling motor only on that one. So that it's, even though technically, arguably they're the same, but you know what I'm saying. Like this can go parallel, that can go parallel, both can go parallel. Cool as ever. Still want to get a gas, what do you call it? Gas gauge, fuel gauge. Don't have that yet. And I think we're ready to go try it out. Fix the water pump. We're about to go check it out and see. We've adjusted the remote, so now that's working properly. I think that's it. I think we're ready to go test it. We somewhat got it running.
Coming off the hook. I'm not catching anything down in there.
You have a fish?
No, I think I'm just catching on the ground at this point. I fed a fish though. I got half my bait left.
You said he was drowning anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little fish?
I think I got a little fish.
Look at you, little fish.
About as little as everything else.
Let me
I've
see.
caught, so.
Look at that thing. I recorded that. Nice.
About as little as everything else I've caught, so there we go. Hey dude, how you doing?
Look how little that brim is.
Is he gonna poke me with his fins?
Yeah, you're gonna need to get you a little glove or something.
Alright.
All
Go him is.
Second bass ever. And
Let's weigh him.
finally decided to just put on a bigger hook, a 2-aught hook, because I just wasn't the little hooks just wasn't doing it. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
golly.
1 pound, 1 ounce.
Nice. He's called a 1-pounder. Thanks for your services, bud. Bye. Hey, Bobby.
Hello. I've been out here messing around with the
He's
engine,
been messing.
trying to get it to run better. So April, I got to empty this bucket now so I can get it out of the way. And I was going to have to go
It's
ahead
too heavy to move with all the water in it.
The redneck way is to stick it in there and keep sucking on it until you get a mouthful of nasty. Because that water is now oily. And I really don't want to do it. And April said, wait, I think you're supposed to be able to just dump the whole thing, get it full of water, pull one side out and let it go, and it should do it.
We're going to see.
So we're going to try and see. So let's just fill up the pipe. Alright, we're completely full. There it goes. Yeah.
And Bobby didn't have to drink oil.
That's nice. Well, let me try. Let me get 2 of them. You get twice as fast.
That's right. Try it again. April's so smart. She's a good girl, Bobby. You got you a good wife.
She thinks she's good. Oh, got a little in my eye, but that's all right. Oh man,
Yeah, you messed it up. Bobby
Popped
Cannon.
Popped out. Got it in my eye too. Ugh.
Wipe your shirt.
Huh?
Wipe it on your shirt. Get it out of the eyeball.
It's just an eye.
Yeah.
Look at that. Pumps without pumps.
You're welcome.
Damn. You want a good running boat, you gotta go all the way.
Hey, girls. Hey, girls. What's it, girls? Hey, girls. Oh, the girls. Where's the girls? Y'all aren't even coming. One of you came out. Oh, there they come. There they are. They thought they was getting treats. Hey, girls. I know, I will. These are the brown girls. All 6 brown girls together. And the white girls are down here. These 2 are the friendliest. Ow! I say friendly, but, you know. Hey, girls. All right, let me get you treats.